Hello, students. Welcome to today's lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about systems of particles and rotational motion. NCERT section 6.8.2 and example 6.8, 6.9. This is disclaimer. Learning objective. By the end of this lecture, you will able to understand the concept of center of gravity and difference between mass and center of gravity. All right. So in today's lecture, we will cover first 6.8.2 center of gravity. Then example 6.8. After that, we will cover example 6.9. So topic is center of gravity. So I want you all to imagine holding a scale or ruler on your finger. So just imagine this. If you move your finger left and right, there's one point where the scale stays balanced. Yes or no? That point is special point because the whole weight of the scale seems to act through it. Or that point is called center of gravity. So if we talk about the definition, so center of gravity is a theoretical point within or even outside. It means it lies within the system and outside the system. So theoretical point within or outside an object where the entire weight of the object can be considered to be concentrated, or we can say a point where whole mass of the body or entire weight of the object can be considered. Example, an irregular cardboard balanced on the tip of pencil has a center of gravity at point of balance G. So even if the object is tilted, rotated or thrown in air, gravity pulls it as if the whole weight is concentrated at one single point. So look at figure 6.24. So this is a cardboard and on the tip of a pencil, G point on the tip of the pencil. So this point, G point here, is the center of gravity. So center of gravity is a point around which the object would balance perfectly. All right. So now consider an irregular shaped cardboard having mass m on a narrow tipped object like a pencil. So suppose we have a irregular shaped cardboard, this one, and the mass is capital M, and narrow tipped object like a pencil here. So the point G is here center of gravity. At point G, cardboard can be balanced on the tip of the pencil. This point of balance is called center of gravity of the cardboard, and the shape of the cardboard is irregular shaped. All right. So tip of the pencil provides a vertically upward force equal and opposite to mg, and hence the cardboard is in translational equilibrium. It means here the vertically upward force that is R, and opposite force is mg. Both are balanced. So we can say there is a translational equilibrium. We know what is translational equilibrium. There is a no linear acceleration. All right. So cardboard is also in rotational equilibrium. If it were not so, due to unbalanced torque, it would tilt and fall. So torques on the cardboard are due to forces of gravity like m1g, m2g on individual particles. So here the torque on the cardboard due to the different forces, different weights m1g, m2g of the individual particles, because this shape is irregular shaped. Center of gravity of the cardboard is located such that total torque on it due to forces m1, m2 is 0. So if you support a body exactly at its center of gravity, it will stay balanced. All right. Now consider Ri is the position vector of ith particle of an extended body with respect to its center of gravity. Then the torque about the center of center of gravity due to the force of gravity of the particle is this one. Tau I is equal to Ri cross Mig. So this is the torque about the center of gravity. So total gravitational torque about the center of gravity is tau g is equal to summation I equal to 1 to n tau I is equal to summation I equal to 1 to n tau I into Mig equal to 0. So this is the gravitational torque about center of gravity. Center of gravity is a point where the total gravitational torque on the body is 0. All right. Now difference between center of mass and center of gravity. So center of mass is a point within or even outside of an object at which whole mass is supposed to be concentrated. So we can say a point where whole mass of the body is concentrated, known as center of mass of that body, and it does not depend on the gravitational field. It means it is independent of gravitational field. So this point is very important. Center of mass is independent of gravitational field. Center of gravity is a point within or outside of an object where entire weight of the object can be considered and to be concentrated, and it does depend on the gravitational field. So here two important points. First, center of mass is independent of gravitational field, whereas whereas center of gravity is depend on the gravitational field. So imagine dividing an object into many tiny particles. Each particle has some mass and position. The weighted average of all these positions based on mass gives you the center of mass. And if you are if we talk about the center of gravity, so if gravity acts equally on all parts of a body, then the center of gravity and center of mass coincide. But if the gravity varies from one part to another, like a very large objects, the 2 points may be different. So we can say center of gravity depends on gravity and how it varies over the body. It is the point where you can apply gravitational force to predict how the object will move or balance. Alright. Both center of mass and center of gravity lie inside or outside of the body. For example, the center of mass and center of gravity of a uniform ring lies at its geometric center P. So here we have a uniform ring, and the center of mass of this ring is at point P. Alright. So here a question arises, can center of mass and center of gravity is same? The center of mass and the center of gravity are not always the same, but in many practical situations, specifically near the earth's surface, they are the same. So when our center of mass and center of gravity the same, so first we can say the gravitational field is uniform. It means gravity is the same at every point of the object. Or we can say the object is small enough that variations in gravity are negligible. In that case, both are same. The body is rigid and close to Earth's surface. So in these cases, center of mass and center of gravity are same. So suppose we have a table or chair, ball, book, or human body standing on the earth. So in that case, center of mass and center of gravity are same point. Then when are center of mass and center of gravity different? So first we can say the gravitational field is non-uniform. Gravity varies from point to point. So in that case, the center of mass and center of gravity are different. Second, we can say the object is very large in size, like a mountain, satellite, or spacecraft. Or we can say object is curved in a curved gravitational object is in curved gravitational field, like near planets or stars. So in that case, center of mass and center of gravity are not equal. So a satellite orbiting Earth may experience different gravity on different parts. So center of gravity shifts away from center of mass. So center of gravity of the body coincides with center of mass in uniform gravity. So if the gravity is uniform, so in that case, center of mass and center of gravity coincides. So here M shows the center of mass and G center of gravity. The condition is gravity should be uniform. Center of gravity of the body does not coincide with center of mass in non-uniform gravity. So from these 2 points, we can conclude that if the gravity is uniform, so we can say center of mass and center of gravity coincides. If the gravity is non-uniform, like a mountain, or we can say or at a top of any hills, so in that case the gravity is non-uniform. So the center of mass and center of gravity are not equal. All right. Example 6.8. A metal bar 70 centimeter long and 4 kg in mass supported on two knife edges, placed 10 centimeter from each end. A 6 kg weight is suspended at 30 centimeter from one end. Find the reactions at the knife edges. So in this question, you have to find out the reaction at the knife edge. You have a some time to solve this question. Please solve or think about it. Let's see the solution of this question. So here we consider a rod. So we have a rod AB with positions of the knife edges K1 and K2. So from the concept of the center of gravity, so we can determine firstly center of gravity of this knife. So center of gravity of the rod is at G here and suspended at a load W1 at point P. So the important point P and G both are different points. W1 is the suspended load. So if the bar is uniform, a metal bar is uniform, so its weight W acts at its center G. So the bar is uniform, so W is the weight of this bar. So from this illustration figure 6.26, AB is 70 centimeter, and if we talk about the AG, so this is the mid of the AB. So AG is equal to 35 centimeter. Yes or no? So given weight W1 is at 30 centimeter from and A. So from and A. So and A is this one, and from 30 centimeter this one W1 at point P. So AP is equal to 30 centimeter. This is given, and PG. PG is what? 5 centimeter. That is 0.05 meter. This is clear. So we know complete length is 70 centimeter and mid length is half length is 35 centimeter. So AG is 35 centimeter and AP is 30 centimeter. So the gap, that is PG, is 5 centimeter. Yes or no? So PG is 5 centimeter. In meter, it will be 0.05 meter. So supports K1 and K2 are at 10 centimeter from the ends. So the distance from A to K1 is 10 centimeter. Also from B to K2 is 10 centimeter. Here K1 and K2 are supported points. So if we talk about the AK1 or BK2, the length is 10 centimeter. Yes or no? So in meter it will be 0.1 meter. Or if we talk about the K1G. So what will be the K1G? Please answer. Or K2G. So the complete length is 75 centimeter, 70 centimeter, and AG is 35 centimeter. Yes or no? So here we have to find the K1G. K1G. So K1G is 25. How? Because K1 is 10 centimeter. K1 is 10 centimeter. And AG is 35. So 35 minus 10, it will be 25 centimeter. In meter, it will be 0.25 meter. So we can say K1G and K2G are equal to 0.25 meter. So weight of the rod is mass into gravity. So here mass is the rod is 4 kg and gravity is small g. So when we simplified it by putting the value, so it will be W equal to 4 kg into 9.8 meter per second square. So after multiplication, it will be 39.2 Newton. So weight of the rod is 39.2 Newton. But we have to find out the reactions at the knife edges. So here W1 is equal to weight, here this one is 6 kg into gravity. So it will be 6 into 9.8 meter per second. So W equal to 58.8 Newton. Now the important point is this: W1 is suspended load. Okay. So this is the weight W1. So let R1 and R2 be the normal reactions at K1 and K2. So for if we talk about the translational equilibrium, the upward force is equal to downward force. In translational equilibrium, there is a no linear acceleration, or we can say the constant velocity. So in that case, R1 plus R2, listen carefully, R1 plus R2 is equal to W plus W1. This is clear? Yes or no? This is important concept here. Here we talk about the translational equilibrium. So in case of translational equilibrium, there is a no linear acceleration. So the forces are balanced. So R1 plus R2 is equal to W plus W1. W is weight and W1 is the suspended weight. So just put the value of W1 and W and W1. So R1 plus R2 is equal to 39.2 Newton and 58.8 Newton. So when we adding this, you will be get 98 Newton. Alright. So for rotational equilibrium. So if we talk about the rotational equilibrium, there is a no linear, there is a no angular acceleration. So clockwise moments about G is equal to anti-clockwise moments about G. So just put the value of the moments. So it will be R1 into K1G is equal to W1 into PG plus R2 into K2G. So just putting the value, you will be get 0.25 R1 is equal to 0.05 W1 plus 0.25 R2. So solving this, you will be get R1 minus R2 equal to 11.76 Newton. Now we have a two equations. In case of translational equilibrium, we get a equation first. In case of rotational equilibrium, we have a equation second. So using equation first and second, we will find the value of R1 and R2. So from equation first and second, when we solving, you will be get R1 is equal to 54.88 Newton and R2 is equal to 43.12 Newton. Alright. So this is the reaction at the knife edges. Here we use the concept of moments. Example 6.9. A 3-meter long ladder weighing 20 kg leans on a frictionless wall. Its feet rest on the floor 1 meter from the wall, as shown in the figure. Find the reaction forces of the ball and the floor. So here you have to find out the reaction force of the ball and of the wall and floor. Think about it. You have some time. Let's see the solution of this question. So, first of all, we suppose here we see here given terms. So length here length is AB, AB. This is the length of ladder, 3 meter, and AC, the distance from the wall, that is 1 meter. So please understand it one step by step. So by path we know this one AB and AC. We have to find out the BC. So we know a theorem, that is Pythagoras theorem. So using the Pythagoras theorem, we will calculate the value of BC. So Pythagoras theorem is AB square equal to AB square hypotenuse is equal to base, that is AC square plus length BC square. Clear? So we have to find out the BC. So BC is equal to under root AB square minus AC square. This is simple mathematics. Yes or no? So BC is equal to under root 3 square minus 1 square. So 3 is the value of AB and 1 is the value of AC. So 3 square minus 1 square. So it will be 3 square 9 and 1 square 1. So it will be root 8. Root 8 means 2 root 2 meter. So we get the value of BC, that is 2 root 2 meter. Alright. So weight of the ladder, that is W, is equal to acts at the center of mass of the ladder, and that is D point, or we can say midpoint of the ladder. So here the weight acting vertically downward. So force is acting on the ladder. Let's compute. First weight that is acting downwards at D, and reaction that is F1 from the wall, this one, the weight, the force acted here by the ladder, and the reaction by the wall is F1, horizontal, since wall is frictionless. So reaction F2 from the floor, so as shown figure 6.2. so from the floor reaction is F2, and by the wall reaction is F1. All right, so which has normal component N and friction F. So the here the force acted by the ladder on the floor, so normal reaction is N and friction is F, and reaction is F2. All right, I think all terms are clear. Yes or no? So solving further by considering translational equilibrium. So if we talk about the translational equilibrium, the net force on this system should be 0. So for equilibrium, for horizontal equilibrium, the net force is F minus F1 equal to 0, because this one is the friction force. So F minus F1 equal to 0, so F equal to F1. All right, now translational equilibrium, N minus W, so N normal reaction and weight is W, so N minus W equal to 0, and vertical equilibrium, so N equal to W. So we know the value of W, that is mass into acceleration due to gravity, so 20 kg into 9.8 meter per second square, so N equal to 196 Newton. Yes or no? All right, so now here we consider rotational equilibrium. So in rotational equilibrium, the moments of the forces about A is BC into F1, BC into F1 minus AE, AE into W equal to 0. So because in rotational equilibrium there is a no angular acceleration, so just put the value BC, that is 2 into root 2 F1 minus AE 1 by 2 into W equal to 0. So solving this, you will get F1 is equal to W by 4 root 2. All right, so we know the value of N, that is 196 Newton. So just put the value of W, you will get F1 is equal to 196 divided by 4 root 2 is equal to 34.6 Newton. So F1 is equal to F, that is 34.6 Newton. So we have to find out the force F2. So it will be under root N square plus F square equal to 199 Newton. Yes or no? So now the force F2 makes an angle alpha with horizontal. So we consider tan alpha is equal to N by F. So value of N, putting the value of N by F, you will be get tan alpha is equal to 4 root 2. So alpha equal to tan inverse 4 into root 2. So alpha equal to 80 degree. Okay, so this is the value of alpha. Now summary. So we studied center of gravity. So it's a theoretical point where entire weight of object is concentrated, can be found when object balances perfectly. Total gravitational torque about center of gravity is 0. So tau g equal to summation I equal to 1 to n tau I is equal to summation I equal to 1 to n ri into mig equal to 0. So this is mathematical term. And center of mass versus center of gravity. In uniform gravity field, center of gravity Cg coincides with center of mass Com. In non-uniform gravity field, center of gravity Cg does not coincides with center of mass Com. Alright. Now here we have some questions, and this is practice questions for you. First, what is the main difference between center of mass and center of gravity in terms of their dependence on gravitational field? Second, under what condition does the center of gravity coincide with the center of mass of a body? Third, what does a cardboard balanced on a pencil tip not fall or tilt when its center of gravity is at the midpoint of the balance? Fourth, can the center of gravity be located outside an object? And fifth, how is the torque about the center of gravity for individual particles calculated using its position vector? Clear? So these are the practice questions, and this is homework for you. These are all questions are homework. All right. Thank you for your attention.